Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll drop the throw. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Murray now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This will be taken at the 10. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15. And the Patriots take over. Now the Patriots gearing up to go now. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think is making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now back to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A first down there on a pickup of 25.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back to throw now on first down. His throw caught at about the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Hey, lock it. Showing it. Check 24. Check 24. Sure.
And to give this time to the tailback. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Let's go. Get set.
The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on third and goal.
No. Check 15. Check 15.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they'll see what they can do on third and goal. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
Hey, Sam on. Yep. Rush in.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 12. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming this way. Here we go.
Throwing on third and long. Murray. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
I'm coming after you.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He'll get this one to Galladay. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's a quick throw complete to Galladay. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again, Murray. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So here are the Patriots to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
On the double. Oh, yeah. Hey, exit. Here we go again. Ready?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. You gonna see me in your nightmare. Hey, high 7 now.
2nd and 9 now. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
Let's go.
That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Going to throw right side here, complete. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a handoff looking right. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Catch is made by Harry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Hey, Foxtrot. 23 is the mic.
2nd and 4. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
No. Hey, watch it. Topper! Hey! He's coming in.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
On the ready. Yeah.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
So here's the home side to take over on offense. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. To throw, it's Murray. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Murray going to throw. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A final shot before half from Murray. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half.
Let's go!
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
61, match box, lights.
First down, New England.
Now, 5.
And they give this time to the tailback. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 8. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards that time.
90, wolf. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Go. 5.
They'll set up to throw.
Let's go, D.
The quick slant caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. N'Keal Harry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This one taken from the 7. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Andy Isabella was the intended target. Here's Grant. A good productive run there on first down. He winds up getting 8. On 2nd and 12, Murray. This one caught by Isabella. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On 2nd down, it's Grant. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Now, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Check hot route. Hot. Switch. Hey.
Yep. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. X3. 218. Chopper. Jim. Let's go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
43. Check, 43. Hey, team 6. You're out. Leo. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Go. Get it.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Let's go.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray. Throwing deep for Galladay. It got his man complete. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation,
and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Joejuan Williams. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And making their way back out there now, the Patriots defense. Murray trying again after the pick six. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Murray now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Murray now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Isabella. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row, I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Murray to air it out again. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season...
And he's into the clear. The 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Murray looks to throw again. 2nd and 10. That is incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
7 yards there and a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Go! Mike's 43. Mike's 43. Shoot.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in.
Let's go.
The end result, 21 yards.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. But it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
25, check 25, check 25.
2nd and 10. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Patriots, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.